All right, welcome to Stand and Bang Radio. I'm Aaron Robbins. With me is my co-host Mark Modeski.
Heyo.
How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing good today, Aaron. How you doing, eh?
Oh, not too shabby, eh? He's Canadian, I'm American, and we are in luck because we have two British fighters with us. We have two Bellator light heavyweights. We have Liam Mcgeary in the house. Liam?
How's it going, boys?
And we have Linton the Swarm Vassel. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm good, thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I kind of feel outnumbered tonight. I'm generally not the only American on the show.
You got the Commonwealth standing against you tonight, buddy.
I want no part of that. I want no part of that. All right, since I am the only American, but Liam is an import. Liam, did you celebrate Thanksgiving this weekend or no?
Yeah, I did. I celebrated my first Thanksgiving. I was down in Atlanta.
Okay. So how about you guys,
cool, right?
Let's see, I heard that over in the UK you guys have been hit now with Black Friday. Linton?
Yes, that's true, actually. That was yesterday, Black Friday. Nothing that I wanted, though, was on sale.
Oh. I just...
Typical.
You know.
I see some videos on Facebook of Tesco, people going nuts in Tesco's.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that.
Man, the queues and the lines, man. Oh, you haven't watched it?
Really?
No, mate. They were fighting over TVs and everything. It was quite funny to watch.
Yeah. See, we're too polite here in Canada for Black Friday. It's like, oh, sorry, did I get in your way there? You know, okay, yeah, you go ahead of me. It's all right. We just kind of let everybody do their own thing. It's
No,
just,
you can't be like that, man. Like, I'm the first, mate. Wait behind me.
Exactly. You got your eyes on it. Go get it.
Yeah, no, they tried it out here, and like I say, it was more of a disaster because nobody was buying anything. We were all just trying to be too polite. So
Yeah.
We kill each other.
On sale that I actually want, so that's the point of it.
Yeah,
Unless
well,
it's something that I want, then yeah, all good, but, you know.
See, you have more common sense, though. You actually thought about something that you needed and wanted. We are just sheep over here, and when Black Friday hits, we just go crazy for cheaply made electronics, and we are willing to kill each other for them, apparently, at least one day a year.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. So you're welcome.
That's like one, there's no point having it.
You're welcome for that tradition. Sorry about that.
You can have it back, actually. We don't want it.
Once it gets started, it's hard to stop, Linton. I'm guessing that's going to be a tradition now forever. You need to get some soccer hooligans in there to slow everything down.
Yeah, no, I think it will stay, man, definitely.
Okay. So you guys have the unique position of being part of the British invasion happening over at Bellator 133 at the Mohegan Sun. Were all of you guys contacted at one time to say, hey, you know, we want this British invasion to happen, or did it just sort of line up?
Well, to be fair, I didn't know nothing about it, really, until we got there. I had a feeling Liam might be fighting on there, obviously against Emmanuel, but everyone else, I didn't know what was going on. We sort of went in blind, really, and then when we went in, then we found out exactly what was going on.
Yeah, I was exactly the same, man. They didn't say anything about it. You know, I just knew I was fighting Emmanuel on that show. And then as soon as I landed, they said, oh, you've got all your other English brothers on the same card. And I was like, well, who? And then as soon as I see everyone there, it was like one big party.
That's right.
Okay, so which event were you guys at together then?
130, Bellator 130, Tito versus Bonner.
You guys were there. Okay, good.
Yeah,
we were there, man. We were having some fun, weren't we, Liam?
Dancing it up on cage side.
That's right, man. Having some fun.
You give English people free alcohol, man. That's a recipe for disaster.
So that must have been an absolutely amazing atmosphere with that main event, and not sure if you guys pay attention to this kind of stuff, but bringing in Bonner and Ortiz, you guys actually beat a UFC pay-per-view as far as watchers go. I think that's the first time that's ever happened in Bellator history.
Yeah.
We beat him.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, nice. It was a good show as well, man. That was a really good show.
So did you guys get to hang out with either of the guys after the main event?
Was bouncing around with Stephan Bonner in a nightclub.
He was able to walk. He was able to walk after the fight.
Oh yeah, he had a few plasters on him covering up his cuts, but he was good. he was obviously disappointed with the result, but that's the thing with fighters. If they lose, they lose. You don't go too much into yourself. You push yourself off and jump straight back on the horse, as they say.
Linton, did you get to hang out with anybody?
Yeah, I was the same. I was with Liam, so yeah, we got to hang out with some of the boys and that. See, who else? See, Goldberg. No Goldberg, the wrestler.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Bill Goldberg. Yeah.
It was chilling out of him at the after party. It was sound.
Hoist Gracie.
Yeah, Hoist Gracie.
Hoist was there. Wow.
Man, there was a whole load of legends of the sport there.
Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, Ken Shamrock. I stood next to Ken Shamrock commentating with a Tito fight.
So what was that like for you guys? I mean, again, coming in, into a huge event like this, and then getting to sort of spend some time afterwards, regardless of the environment, with a lot of these guys you probably looked up to when you're coming up in the sport and whatnot. Getting to have this really social environment. What was that like for you? Did you take anything away that was particularly, memorable that evening for you?
Just the whole experience.
Yeah.
We're all just sitting down, chilling, watching the fights, and like for instance, like Michael Page was like, oh look, there's was it Randy Couture? He was sitting like 2 seats away from us, and we all got up, all like little kids, got our phones out,
sneaking pictures.
It just shows like all the legends are backing up Bellator really. And it just shows big things are going to start happening.
No, absolutely. I was going to ask you guys about that. Scott Coker's doing it right. Viacom's doing it right. It's one of those things where you bring in a guy like Tito Ortiz, Stephan Bonner, Rampage Jackson, and people who normally wouldn't tune into the fights are watching because of those names, and that gets you guys a lot of attention. So I think right now Bellator is poised to do some big numbers and to get you guys the attention that you deserve.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be 2015 is going to be an awesome year.
This car's going to be sick, Liam, isn't it? This car's
everyone's in for a fucking good show.
I agree. Now, to relate with you guys, I got to cover Bellator a couple of times, and I saw Randy Couture, I saw Mark Coleman, and I too left the booth and took selfies and stuff like that. So I lost all professionalism as soon as I saw a celebrity. I was kind of...
You can't help yourself.
No.
Excuse me, could I get a picture of you?
And they're all really nice about it. And you got the lanyard around your neck. They know where you're supposed to be. You're completely absent at your post. You're like, oh, screw this. I got to go talk to Mark Coleman. How about you, Medeski? Have you ever been to an event?
Yeah, I've been to I've been to the first UFC event that was ever held in Canada. It was the first one I ever went to. It was held in Montreal, and it was when GSP, Sarah too, when GSP went for the belt back. And I'll have to tell you, I've been to about too many rock concerts and music concerts and sporting events in my lifetime to count. That was honestly the most surreal environment I've ever been in my entire life. When GSP threw his hands up and he had got the belt, it was just, I've never seen anything like that in my life. Like I said, I've been at the World Series and stuff like that, baseball, and, what didn't even compare to that. Like, it was unbelievable. Like, it was just, I've been to that. I've been to the one at the Rogers Center, which was, I think it still is the largest North American UFC event ever, GSP again. They love playing, when GSP was still fighting in the UFC, every single time that they have an event here in Canada, GSP's got a headline. That's the only way we're going to get people into this thing.
Smart, though, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It is. And, Canadians, we all got, we're all sort of like all over GSP anytime he does anything or whatever. Like French Canadian, West Canadian, Central Canadian, we all love GSP. How can you not like the guy? But, I've been to a couple, and like I say, I go crazy. Like, I remember seeing Melvin Gillard at the Rogers Center. Like, Melvin Gillard, who's not like, good fighter, good B-list fighter, not an A-list guy. Still went crazy when I saw him. I threw my arm around. I was like, hey, what's up, man? Kind of going all fan crazy. But, that's how we are. And I think that's part of the magic behind the sport is that, you can get so close to all the athletes and you can kind of act like a bit of a fool and nobody really judges you for it because, we're all sort of the same type of person at the end of the day.
I was exactly going to say the exact same thing. Man, we're all the same. Everyone likes to have a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
I was exactly the same whenever I saw somebody. I was all starstruck, and then when I got to know him, I'm like, man, he's just exactly the same as me. Likes to laugh, likes to smile, and have a good time.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, you know what? I think we talk to a lot of these fighters, and you end up talking to a lot of you guys, I'm sure as well. You talk to your colleagues, and you see they're just I think it's the nature of the sport. Everybody's just an everyday Joe at the end of the day. Nobody's out there with this sort of big I'm sure there's a couple guys out there, don't get me wrong, with big inflated egos and stuff like that. You don't have, like basketball or hockey players or soccer players, where some of these guys have these really inflated egos. Everybody's down to earth at the end of the day because they've all grown up in this sport that's still very much so in its infancy, which I think leads really well into Aaron's point about, Bellator coming in with Scott Coker and whatnot. And what do you guys think this is going to do for the sport? Do you think like sort of this emergence, Strikeforce died, obviously it was enveloped up by the UFC, and which for fans I think like myself was a little bit disappointing because it created some environment of competition.
Very disappointing.
How do you guys feel? Do you think Bellator can sort of adopt that position and kind of sneak in without being, sucked into the UFC vacuum, or the Zuffa vacuum, I guess, and create that extra competition for the UFC?
Done then.
You got that one, Linton?
Yeah. No, I definitely, for sure, man. But I think Bellator doing their own thing, with this British invasion. It's something totally different. Like, I wouldn't say really it's been done before, and we're all like, obviously, me and Liam are, sort of up and coming. So is Michael. And then we've got obviously like the veterans, like, James. and Paul Daly,
Yeah.
So I think what they've done, it's just gonna, blow UFC out the water next year, man.
Yeah.
Especially when, the UK take over, man.
Personally, man, I can't wait for this card. I really can't. I can't wait to be aired on TV so everyone can see all of the English boys fighting over here. It's a massive, massive step for the British in general as well, because British MMA fighters have been fighting on the sticks and they came to America, and now this is the second biggest show in the world. And going off of what they did on Bellator 130 in San Diego, that show was epic.
That's right.
So, man, it's really, really exciting times, and Scott Coker is doing an absolutely amazing job of that. And that people have asked, like, have you noticed any differences between Scott Coker taking over? That was a difference we noticed.
Yeah.
That all the lights, the walkout, the TV, the stage, man, it was.
The stage is going to be amazing, man. Seriously, I can't wait to walk down.
We saw it. We just all stood there staring at it. I was like, what's this, man? We got to walk out on this. This is fucking brilliant.
No, that's fantastic. That was one of the biggest changes, and it looks like Coker went in there with a very direct strike. He had a direction, he had a vision, he made it happen. That event was definitely a time where you saw it go from the Bjorn Bellator to the Coker Bellator, and I was thoroughly entertained that night. I was going back and forth between a lackluster UFC card and a very good Bellator card. And although a lot of the casual fans tuned in for Ortiz and Bonner, there was Schilling doing his thing and Will Brooks doing his thing, and a lot of quality fighters. And I think that's what people are going to see now is that, the level of competition, the level of fighters that Bellator has is for real.
That's it. And there was a few upsets as well. I think everyone thought Manhoff had that fight. I thought he had that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I was thinking he was going to tear him off.
I couldn't believe.
Man, Schilling looked good, man.
He did.
He really did.
Yeah,
well, that's him. That was his debut in MMA as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think Schilling is isn't he he's a kickboxer.
K1.
K1, yeah. So pretty much anytime you go up against a guy who can hold his own in K1, I don't know if I'd call him an underdog, and I'd definitely stay away from his punches and kicks. I guess Manhoff learned that the hard way.
Yes, he did.
I didn't expect that at all. Seriously, I thought, it would at least gone the distance, or as I say, I thought Manhoff would probably TKO him or knock him out. So.
Nope, he just went to sleep.
I know, that's it.
All right, so we got the whole Bellator thing covered. While we have you guys on the air, do you mind if we kind of get a little bit of history on both of you? Liam, I know that you have a very interesting path that you took in your younger life to end up knowing that you should harness the striking skills that you have. Linton, I think that maybe we should get that too. Is that something you guys would be willing to do for us?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
All right, why don't we go ahead and start with you, Liam? Tell us about your younger life. and what led you to getting into formal mixed martial arts?
My younger life, I worked in construction from the age of 15, 16. I was always in construction. I like to party, and I also like to fight. I worked, so I'd be always getting into trouble on the weekends, and and then I kind of started training when I was 26. Yeah, 26. I started training, and then I found myself over here for the last 3 years. So
now, if you don't mind bringing it up, you actually ran into a little bit of trouble that made you realize that you should be formally trained rather than getting into trouble on the weekends. Do you mind talking about that a bit?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind talking. I got into a little bit of trouble. It was a fight in the street, which I hurt somebody. I got into a lot of trouble for it. I ended up going to jail. And you spend a lot of time in that cell on your own, so you're thinking. And I knew the street fighting, people get hurt, but I never actually thought it ever happened to me. I just thought, you know what, I'm just slapping someone here, just a laugh, and nothing's going to happen. But then when something serious happens, then it makes you realise, and life's too short to be thrown away doing stupid little things by fighting in the street. So instead of getting arrested for it, I'd rather get patted on the back and get paid for it. So I just thought, see what it is.
Absolutely. I think it's good for people to understand that, you guys weren't born fighters.
Yeah. In America,
worked out well.
Bellator. So it was a good decision to make.
Absolutely, absolutely. Linton, why don't you go into your younger life and how you got into the sport?
My younger life, well, I started doing, I've always doing like a bit of sports, like track. I was always like doing like 100 meters, all that type of stuff. Athletics, like high jump. And then when I was about 17, 18, I started getting into weights. So I was always like pretty athletic, doing that kind of stuff. And then when I was about 23, I thought I'd start kickboxing just to sort of keep fit and sort of learn to look after myself. And it wasn't until I was 23. I was just play fight with one of my friends in the back garden. And I used to watch a lot of wrestling back then, so I was doing a lot of wrestling moves on him. And I don't know if everyone knows The Rock, don't they? Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Who? And I picked him up and slammed him to the floor, and ended up knocking him out by accident. And after that, obviously, when he came to, he was like, you need to come to the gym. So we went down to the gym, my local gym, and started obviously grappling some of the boys. I picked up pretty easily, and I was fighting within 6 months after that. And then it just continued and continued until I got into Bellator, really, to be fair. But other than that, I didn't really get in trouble, to be honest. Just kept myself to myself at school.
We don't all have to get in trouble with fighters.
Yeah, so I'd never get into fights, to be fair. The odd 1 or 2 fights, if you go out to the club and that. But other than that, I'd say I was a pretty good lad. And now I'm in Bellator, so I sort of just fell into it, to be fair.
Good boy.
Yeah, we've got the example of the proper British good boy and the proper British bad boy, but you guys ended up in Bellator all the same. So what difference does it make, right? All right, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's it, man. I think it's just in million blood, to be fair. We're both good at it, and both doing it. You know what I mean? Both obviously had different paths, but both doing good for it now. So
yeah, absolutely. It's the destination.
Everyone's got to find their own path in life.
Mark, you got anything to add?
Find the right track. You got there, man. You won't have to get to that place their own route.
No, sorry, cut out for a second there. But I
I can hear anything then.
Do something.
Yeah, went blank.
Yeah, do something I wanted to ask you guys though. Something I always like to ask is, involved. We've grown up watching the sport since it was nothing. Is there a fighter, from either previous, you know, today, past whatever, that, you know, really sort of influenced sort of your style or inspired your style or the way that you want to fight or kind of got you guys going? Either or, say Linton. I'd be curious to hear what you had to say first.
Yeah, mine's Randy Couture, man.
Yeah?
Definitely, yeah.
Captain America,
I first obviously watched first UFC, so that was Royce Gracie. So, you know, it was always my first person that I used to watch. But I don't know, it was like more like Randy. I don't know, I just liked his style, his dirty boxing, and just his grappling, to be fair. So yeah, I'd say definitely Randy Couture.
Mine was Chuck Liddell.
Chuck.
I like that. Yeah, I liked his style. Just like to fight. He was old school. Yeah, he just went in there for a good tear up. So. Yeah.
And funny enough, we both said that, and that's both our styles.
Exactly, I know. Yeah.
I was gonna say it's almost kind of funny too, because I mean that was like one of the classic one of the classic rivalries once the UFC started to break.
Yeah, it was.
Break into the big time was Chuck and Randy, and
that's right.
Yeah, you know, I think that's one of the ones that really helped to sort of start to galvanize the sport into the mainstream a little bit more. So this is one I also like to ask, that you don't necessarily have to answer if you don't want to.
Yes, you do.
Some people are nervous too, but
yes, you do.
You do, but say you had your shot, man. Like, you know where you are in the game. Didn't really matter. You could just go toe to toe with anybody out there right now today. Like, who's that? What's that dream matchup for you? Who is it? Anybody. It can be Silva if you wanted to. It can be me. It doesn't matter.
Who are you asking me?
I'm asking both of you.
Modesty, you would both whip your ass.
Dream match.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really think of things like that. You mean anyone in the world? Like?
Anyone in the world. Like even in the past. Like, who's that one guy you'd like say?
Yeah.
You know what? I'd like to take my one shot to see if I could, like, you know, really show that guy. You know, really test my skills to see if I've got it.
I'd have to say Tyson then, man, because he was.
Yeah. Good answer.
Wow.
That's a good answer, man.
Even though I'll be sitting there.
Good answer.
I'm like, I've got to try and take this boy down, man.
Oh.
Man, I get asked
that's
that
from a shotgun.
What about
Tyson,
you, Liam?
Tyson.
I don't know. I don't really have one.
No?
So.
I'd like to kick
No, man, I get asked that question, man. I'll just fight anybody. Anybody who stood in front of me who wants to fight, really.
Hey,
it makes no difference who they are.
Hey, you know what? That's fair. You know what? Three in the ring with the T-Rex. I'd like to, you know, whatever works, man.
Yeah.
T-Rex.
You'd have the arm length advantage. You'd have the reach advantage for sure.
That's it.
Reach
I
advantage,
don't know. I
but
used to
not
have
height.
Linton, what's your reach? Is that 81 as well, is it?
My reach is, I think it's 82.
Oh, 82.
Yeah. What's yours?
81.
Are you guys comparing length on my show?
Yeah. I'm big guy. Got into them.
You're making the American nervous, guys. You're making the American nervous.
What the hell? That's the first time that's ever happened on the show. I'm going to put that down on the calendar. I had two British fighters comparing length.
Put that down. The ladies. Well.
You guys are making firsts everywhere you go. Now, speaking of you guys enjoying, you know, Chuck Liddell on one side, Randy Couture on the other, with everything that's going on in Bellator, there might be some classic battles between Linton and Liam. Have you guys given that any thought? Does that bother you whatsoever, being that you're a little bit of friends?
Well, we spoke about this, didn't we? Before I fought Emmanuel, actually.
Yeah.
We're talking to each other on Twitter. You know, we said obviously if I would have won the fight, then obviously we'd have to do what we've got to do, and you know, hopefully do it in like we said, London or Manchester, didn't we, or something?
Yeah, that would be, if that was ever to come around, then it would doing a show in England would be awesome. But yeah, you know what? You cross that bridge at the end of when you come to it. You know?
Exactly.
You don't have to. Why worry about something when there's no need to be worried about?
All right.
You know, we both know we're in the same weight category. You know, we're both top of the chain, so it's just one of those things that if it happens at some point. But yeah, we both spoke about it, you know, so it's not no new news, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but
exactly.
But Linton's a little longer.
It doesn't make no difference. I hit harder.
All right, fantastic. Now, Linton, you were nice enough to join us, even though you're going to be flying to Florida tomorrow. Why don't you go ahead and tell everybody what's going on in Florida for you?
Yeah, I'm going to Disneyland.
Oh, well, perfect.
I'm only joking. I'm going to train with the Batzillions. I booked my flight a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, I'm going to go and train with some of the boys from the Batzillions. I'll be there for 18 days, so like 2.5 weeks, and then I'll come back for Christmas, and then I'll fly back over again until my fight against Sokoju on February 27th. So I'll have my camp all over in Florida.
Now, this isn't the first time that you've trained over there, is it?
Florida, yep, but I have trained in California for a little while. When I went over there, I trained over there with Czech Congo and Rampage.
Oh, okay.
That was for a few fights, my first couple of fights, that was. So yeah, this was the first time I've trained in Florida.
Well, and you and I have talked before, and you said you actually enjoy that, getting out of your comfort zone, training with new training partners that may not show you as much love and respect, and then that way they rise you to that next level, right?
Exactly, that's right, man. You know, you need to come out of that comfort zone. So, you know, it's all good going to the gym and, you know, having not an easy day, but, you know, not too hard. But you need those grinding ones where you're sort of thinking to yourself, I can just tap right now just to make it easy on myself.
Have you seen her?
You know, you need that in your life. So when you actually do come to situations, or someone's, you know, got you in a bad position, you know, you've been there, you've done that, you know, you can rise and obviously hopefully get out of it or survive.
All right, now, Liam, you have a home camp over in the Jersey area. Do you want to go ahead and tell us about that?
My camp's in New York.
New York, I'm sorry.
I train at Henzo Gracie's in Manhattan, and also at Church Street Boxing in Manhattan as well. So there's quite a floor of talent in that room.
Yeah, a lot of talent over there.
Yeah, you get all the top boys coming in, and they do the training, and GSP pops in every now and then. We had Chris Weidman coming down there. My main training partner, David Branch, WSOF champion. Mm-hmm. There's Sat Rafael, Sapo Natal. There's a whole room for people, you know.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
Good.
That's
It's
on a
good
daily
training.
basis as well, brother, isn't it?
Hey?
That's on a daily basis as well, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's as Linton was saying, get out your comfort zone. You know, you need to be out of that comfort zone so you can push yourself further. And these boys definitely get you out of your comfort zone. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I've had a chance to talk with some of the fighters over there. I'm not sure if you know this, Mark, but I actually met Liam for a little bit after his fight with Kelly Annenson. And then I've been able to speak with David Branch, and the stuff that's going on over in New York, that's just a fantastic camp. Mark, how excited did you just get when Liam said the initials GSP?
I had to put the phone on mute for a few minutes there.
A little quiet time.
Just you know.
I thought I heard you gasp like a little high school girl.
Well, you heard the gasp, and you heard it go dead silent because, like I say, I had to hit mute. It just for a certain level of professionalism here, we're trying to maintain. But yeah, that sounds like a really great environment actually. And funny enough, I'm going to be in New York at the next month, so maybe we can hook something up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, let us know when you're down here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, I'm flying over to Cali on Wednesday. I'm going to go out there for a few weeks. It's got cold in New York, so I need some sun. And then, but yeah, then I'm back on the 19th of December, I think it is.
Yeah. Well, like I say, we'll keep in touch on that for sure.
Yeah, definitely, mate.
All right, so we have covered where you guys came from and where you trained. You guys want to talk about your fights coming up a little bit?
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm more than happy with that.
Yeah.
You know.
All right.
For me, go on.
No, take her away.
Okay. For me, obviously, you know, I just got to get back on that winning streak now. You know, I had my little blip, so now it's time to pick myself up. And you know, unfortunately, Sokoju's have to fill the raft, should I say?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm coming. You know, I'm representing the UK, and you know, just get back on that track and start again. To be fair.
Yeah, and to be fair, you looked absolutely spectacular against Newton for the first part of that fight. Did it have anything to do with it being a 5-rounder? Do you think that's what affected you at all?
It could be a number of things. He caught me, so I'm not saying it's 5 rounds. That's why he won. But if it was a 3-round, then I'd be champ right now. But I've never been 5 rounds. So obviously I'd definitely be training a lot more for that. Just in general, should I say? But a 5-round fight is definitely grueling, should I say?
Yeah, now that you've been through that experience, I think sometimes when you have the experience, it makes it easier to deal with.
That's right, yeah.
Like having an ex-wife. If you don't ever have one, you don't know how terrifying it is. All right, Liam, you're going to be fighting for the title.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to fight him as well.
Tell him your voice, man.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Was you just
I get that look in my eyes.
was you just clenching your fist when you said that as well?
What?
Was you just clenching your fist when you said that?
I did the whole fist pump thing, man. The face changed. I was like, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, I can't wait to fight him. No, I mean, it's the light heavyweight championship. It's a massive experience, a massive honour to fight for it. And the guy I'm fighting is a tough dude. So now I'm going to be training very hard for it. With Linton's fight, that was a great fight, by the way, Linton. The guy's got a gas tank. He's proven time and time again he can take a beating and then he comes back. It was the first and second round, Linton, man. I thought you had them in the rear naked choke, that Kimura, man, that was tight.
I thought his arm was broke, mate. Seriously.
Yo, man, he had his hand was there, ready to tap. But you can never count this dude out. So I know he's a tough guy. So I have to work, and I have to work hard, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. February 27th is going to be a great, great night for the UK.
That's right.
What are you thinking about all this, Mark? Since you guys are kind of like a sovereign nation of the UK.
Sovereign nation of the UK, eh?
I like to make
technically,
fun of,
the Queen is head of...
I like to make fun of you, Modeski. I can't help myself.
No, it's all good. Like I always say, the US is the pants of Canada. It's all good, man.
That's where the nuts are.
Yeah, we rest them firmly on your forehead.
Oh, shit.
You walked into that one.
I did. Right into it. Got teabagged.
No, so you know what? I think it's like I say, it's really exciting because, like, especially you know what's really getting me going these days is I remember watching the early days of Bellator. To be honest, there's a casino just north of the city that I live in, a small casino, and they used to, and I hope they occasionally still do have Bellator matches up there. But just to see how big, the sport has really grown, and for you guys, just to see how integral a part of that you're becoming for the particular promotion, I guess is a better way to put it. I think it's super exciting. I think, as I had said to earlier, the fact that we're seeing, competition into the ring, it forces the UFC to step up its game, which ultimately is better for the sport. We all want to see the sport grow, right? We all want to see it turn into the biggest sport in the world, which I still firmly believe that it is. And, competition just makes things better for each other. And the level of competition that we're seeing in Bellator right now is just, I honestly, I think the events and the cards, they're better than what we're seeing in the UFC, in my opinion. Next weekend I'll probably watch, but I think I skipped the last UFC event because I was like, I can't sit through this. I don't even, it just seems like they're just pumping out cards and they're not even thinking about them anymore. They're contemplated. You can tell, you can see Coker's footprint on this, and he's thinking things through carefully because he wants to get viewers. He wants to get fights that people are excited about. These are fights that, again, I think that, you guys are going to be at the forefront of this promotion when it really takes off, and I think that's super exciting.
You know what I'm really curious about? Oh, well, either way, I was going to cut you off, so it didn't make any difference.
Fair enough.
What I'm really curious about is I'm in touch with the guys over at MMA UK, Jeff and Adam, and what I've noticed is that because the UK is emerging, you have a loyalty with your fans that are absolutely amazing. It's more of a country pride or a regional pride, if you will. And so I'm really curious to see what the numbers are going to do when you have 4 Brits on the main card. What do you guys think about that?
It definitely is. It's definitely going to blow up, man. Like I said before, they're in for a great night. I'm so glad that they sorted out that contract with 5-star.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, 5-star. So now people back home can watch the fights. It's definitely a great move. It really is, you know. And putting 4 Brits on the main card, man, you can't do no better than that, you know.
That's it. And Liam must get the same. I get people that don't even watch MMA, but because they know, obviously, myself, that they tune in, you know, and that's extra coverage for them, you know. And always asking when you're on TV or when you're back in the UK. And these are guys that don't even watch it, you know, never watch the fight of their life, but they just want to come and support. And soon as Bellator comes to UK, the UK fans are going to be all over it.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely, man. And I know, because I live in Jersey, and people from Jersey will take that little half-an-hour flight straight over to wherever it is, and they'll go to watch it as well.
There you go.
Yeah, wherever we have a show in England, it's going to be a sellout, man. They love it. England love to fight.
That's it.
You know what? And that's what I think. You know, it's the same environment here in Canada, to be honest with you. And we have anytime there's an event here. Whether it be, generally it's in Toronto or Montreal, Vancouver, and we've had a couple other ones. But they sell out like it's just instantaneously. People get so excited so quickly, and it's, flying from say Toronto to like Vancouver is probably 5.5 hours or so. So it's not just a little jaunt. But you know what, man? Like people have done it. I've done it before. Like it's it's just I think. People like, I don't know if maybe it's a Commonwealth thing. We're just all free and nutty for this UFC and this fighting and this MMA and Bellator and everything. And it's just, like I say, it's amazing how crazy people get over it.
And they get behind the local people as well.
Well, that's just it, right? And I think it's your countrymen and stuff like that. Like the MMA scene in Canada started to flag a little bit over the last probably year or so. But I'll tell you, man, it was pretty intense here for a little while. Like we had some, again, GSP aside, there's been some really strong, promising talent come out of the country, and it's amazing how, everyday Joes off the street even know who a lot of these guys are, like the Rory McDonalds and even the Patrick Cotes and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. Alex Garcia as well. He's doing some big things from your way.
Yeah, so that's what I say. Is like, it's amazing how crazy. Even Dana White has said it himself. He said he feels like Canadians are some of the craziest, fans out there. So I try and live and stand by that. And I'll tell you, like I say, man, based on any of the events I've been to, any of the MMA events I've been to here, they have been absolutely, I've just never seen the crowd get so crazy into it. Nobody's in there fighting each other and stuff like that. And in the stands, like people are just so intensely into it. It's amazing. And like I say, and I think it's because they do the same thing in Canada, right? They really cake the cards up with a lot of Canadian fighters and stuff like that, so it gives you something to rally behind.
No, that makes total sense. Now that brings me to another point. Now that I guess this is more for Linton, but Liam the same time. Now that you're on Bellator and now that the UK is emerging as this strength in the MMA world, are you starting to get recognized on the street? Like people are like, "Oh boy, that's the Swarm."
Yeah, funny enough, I went to a club the other day, and this girl came up to me and went, "You're Linton, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "I told you," like to her husband, "I told you it was him, I told you it was him." I was just like, "What the hell?"
What's going on here?
Yeah, I was like, "Did you hear that?" To my boys, like, "Did you hear that?" But, it's not like I go out and I get swarmed or nothing like that. But the other day that happened and I was there. I was pretty chuffed.
Yeah, you get that stuff and all of a sudden your reach grows by a couple inches, right? Like.
That's it, man. I think see the reach of that. So, see the length. Oh, okay, that's definitely it.
Yeah, how long are your arms?
Can you touch your elbows behind your back?
That's it. Do that with your arms. That's it.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm a little longer than Liam Mcgeary.
Yeah. Own that one.
Next time I see Liam, he's gonna sock me in the side of the head.
Exactly. Yeah, you said you want to meet up in December. You're in New York, Sam. Man.
No, that's the Canadian. That's the Canadian.
Hey man, we're cool.
I got some spare gloves over there. I'll bring them to the gym as well.
Spa.
Yeah, if you need a confidence booster, yeah, I'll step in. No problem.
Yeah, that would be an easy brush-up fight for you, I'm sure.
Yeah. Hey man, it's all good.
Hey, we're willing to take one for the team. You guys are nice enough to talk to us, so you know.
You have the right to beat the crap out of us every so often, you know, literally.
It's all training.
All right, Mark, do you have anything left for the guys?
You know, I think I'm actually pretty rounded out. Aaron, do you have anything left you wanted to drop off before we call it a show?
No, we're actually running a little bit close on time, so I wanted to make sure that both the guys could give a shout out to their team and their sponsors. You guys want to go ahead and do that?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Linton, go ahead. Give a shout out to your peeps.
Yeah, I'd like to shout out to my gyms, the Guardian Academy, BST. I also like to shout out to my sponsors, Gouda Nutrition, Impact, OT Sports Therapy, Winback, Vassel's Beauty, The Warehouse, Vapored, Living Fat, and Rev Gear.
Nicely done. Liam?
And to my friends and family,
Oh, of course.
and to all my fans, I love you.
Nicely done, man.
I appreciate the support.
You got some more?
No, I just said I appreciate the support.
I'll just give a shout out to Henzo Gracie Academy and Church Street Boxing Gym. All my training partners, thanks for helping me out along this journey. Thank my sponsors, Future Legend, New Breed Nutrition, Azad Watchers, MMA Overload. Thanks to my manager, Dan Ligori. And again, yeah, thanks to my fans and my friends and family.
All right, fantastic. I want to say thank you to both of you gentlemen for joining me. I wish you luck in your upcoming fights. Mark, thank you for joining me. And I want to thank everybody for joining us for Stand and Bang Radio. We can be heard Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock on Last Word on Sports Radio on lastwordonsports.com.